Then you got those other grinders, Bon Jovi.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're another horrible band, and I also saw them. And I mean, Bon Jovi, he's not even a good frontman. He gets up there like this, and doesn't do anything.
Another group devoid of material, no dynamics, no any kind of musicianship, low level of musicianship.
No improvisation.
No improv. I mean, John Bon
No.
Jovi gets on the radio and goes, I was just on American Idol, and these kids got to learn how to write songs. Guess what, John? You've never wrote a good song in your life either, so what are you talking about? Yeah, those kids on there do got to write good songs, but so do you. You haven't wrote anything good.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Bon Jovi's nothing but a pile of garbage to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, the young girls like him. The first comment of a girl's mouth is, "Oh, what are you, jealous because the guy's better looking than you?" No, I'm not jealous because of that. It has nothing to do with that. If it was that case, if that were the case, I wouldn't like Aerosmith. I wouldn't like the Scorpions. I wouldn't like, well, crazy about the Scorpions, but there's other groups out there, that's not the case. The case is that the guy it's just not a great band live. They don't do any improvisation. There's nothing. There's no interplaying. There's nothing there. Just simpletons on stage, just playing typical pop songs exactly the way pop rock songs exactly the way they are on the album, which they're not great to begin with.
I actually think that show in Millville last week that Albie Miller stole the show by singing with Queen album on stage. Probably sounded better than those Bruce imitators and whoever else was there.
Yeah.
The smooth jazz people. Oh, smooth jazz, very smooth. When we got rough jazz, we got rougher jazz, we got smoother jazz, we got all kinds of little cliched, nonsense to explain, to promote music. Smooth jazz. I thought it was bebop. I thought it was fusion. Smooth jazz?
Maybe it was actually all the same person going off and coming back on as somebody else,
Oh, well, they put a station called Smooth Jazz on the radio, and then they'll play somebody like Spyra Gyra, who is nothing but elevator cocktail jazz, the cheapest jazz you could get. Where they put on Van Morrison, who has nothing to do with jazz. Van Morrison's a singer-songwriter, R&B styled singer from Ireland. He's not a rocker. He's not jazz. He might have a tinge of jazz element in his music, but that's not jazz. So they try to throw somebody that's sort of popular on that station to get more ratings. Sort of like how these rock stations now will sit around and talk about sports, or they'll talk about politics, which they're out of their element. That's not what they should be doing. They should be just playing good music and talking about good music. It's all filtered down to stupid, retarded entertainment. That's all it is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last week I turned on VLT, Steve Tats, and you got 8 DJs in there, and you're all talking about, what station you were in Mumbo Jumbo, Salem County, or Hamilton, or, Gloucester County, and some shack behind the Newfield Shield-Alloy you were in a DJ post out of, or whatever you're doing, instead of talking about how bad radio is. Radio's pathetic, Rock radio is complete garbage. How many jazz commercial stations are there in this country, if there are any? Maybe, I get to listen to WBGO out of Newark late at night. It's NPR station. They play good music from 12 to 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning. That's really good mainstream, good jazz, bebop, real jazz stuff. They'll blend in some fusion and stuff, but they're not going to give you, Spyra Gyra and Van Morrison and slop slosh like that, right? Where are the commercial classical stations at? What's there, one left, maybe in New York or one in L.A. or something? Where are they at? You tell me, and you're sitting there talking about your own careers. You're not talking about the state of radio, which is totally pathetic. What, we got 24-hour, sports talk radio? That's garbage. I mean, sports talk would be fine. It was on like from 10 o'clock to 12 midnight or 7 to 8, and that's it. You have these stations on 24/7. It's all redundancy, complete redundancy. It's nonsense. You get a show, it's on for 5 hours, and they're talking about the same, at bat that the third guy in the Mets batting order, Carlos Beltran, struck out in a crucial situation or whatever, and we're having 29,000 different callers talking about the same thing. Who cares? I mean, how long can you listen to this dreck? Then you got talk radio like Rush Limbaugh, which is totally pathetic, or Sean Hannity, these right-wing, Michael Savage, or you got the left-wingers, Al Franken when he used to do it, or Rachel Maddow, or Keith Olbermann, or, whoever. I mean, that's just pathetic radio, too.
Yeah.
Just so one-sided. Who wants to listen to that mumbo-jumbo? Right-wing rhetoric or left-wing rhetoric? I mean, come on. How much can you take of that?
I'd rather go out in Parman's Park and listen to tree frogs at night.
So, I mean, you guys, instead of like sitting there talking about your careers or whatever, talk about the state of radio, which is a travesty. A little travesty.
It's a joke.
Yeah. What do you got, Pierre Robert?
Yeah, and there's a lot of other people from here that were great. What about Steve Laurie? He's a great guitarist from Vineland. He's not even mentioned.
Outrageous.
He's not even mentioned. Go look up on YouTube. You'll see Steve Laurie. He's a jazz guitarist from Vineland.
Is he on YouTube?
Yeah, they never mention him.
They show him playing?
I don't know if there's some videos on there.
He's outrageous. It's incredible. What an incredible guitar player. He's just straight jazz, no effects, just, clean phrasing. Just unbelievable jazz player. Great feel, the whole deal. Unreal. Yeah.
You think they'd ever mention somebody like that? No.
Steve Laurie. Well, Norm would have him hooked up with Laurie Heating, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Probably thinks he's an air conditioning heating technician.
Yeah.
Steve Laurie at Laurie Heating. Isn't that what Norm would say?
Yeah.